this region. Here's Crowder Road, where this is going to be passing here as well. Spot that we're looking at for that potential rotation, and we'll zoom in that area to give you a better idea locally. So this is west of 245. We've got County Road 410 right in here, and this is the area that we think that tornado is right at this time. County Road 151. This is County Road 402. And so this is pushing off in an easterly direction, likely to affect very near or just south of the town of Okolana. New Wren at 525.
This is Stormwatch America's continuing coverage of severe weather. Good evening to you from the broadcast center in Atlanta. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground in Poplar Creek, Mississippi. Let's go back to the Weather Channel for the very latest on this developing weather situation.
Bigby at 531 and Smithville at 541. I want to take it back out to
This is continuing coverage of severe weather on Stormwatch America. Please stand by. If you're just joining us, we have a tornado warning now for Chickasaw and Wamba, Lee, and Monroe counties in Mississippi until 6 o'clock Central Time. That's about another 45 minutes. This is continuing coverage of severe weather live. We'll be with you throughout the evening here on Stormwatch America. Good evening from the networks of Channel 1 Atlanta here in Atlanta. We'll be with you throughout this evening. The National Weather Service in Jackson is saying that we have a confirmed tornado now located over southern Montgomery County in Mississippi near Poplar Creek, moving east into Choctaw County. Take shelter if you're in the path of this storm. Again, we have a confirmed tornado located near Poplar Creek, Mississippi, moving east into Choctaw County. This is a very dangerous weather situation. Here's the possible tornado right in here. And that looks like, let me take the marker off of here. This looks like there's going to be French Camp headed straight toward your location. And just to the north of Ackerman here over the next several minutes. And to the southeast of Kilmichael, as our radar updates live, the tornado is right now over French Camp, Mississippi. Again, French Camp, Mississippi, all residents there, please take shelter in the center part of your house away from windows or in a basement if you have one. And a tornado watch continues for a good chunk of the southeast throughout this evening, including portions of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. And you see the broad rotation here on our radar via radar scope. And conditions will remain above normal here for the potential for tornado touchdowns, especially across eastern Mississippi and western Alabama here over the next couple of hours. So we're going to continue to monitor this very quickly. Again, a confirmed tornado on the ground near Poplar Creek, Mississippi, and this is moving into storm in general is actually moving in toward Alabama. So let's broaden this out just a little bit here. And again, we're in the velocity wind mode here, not your traditional radar. We actually have another tornadic sail up here now, and we are having some data issues this evening, but we're trying to work around that. This looks like it's going to be just right at Oklahoma right now, just to the south of Shannon, and just to the east of Houston, Mississippi.
So let's go right to the radar and show you where we have these active warnings. Two of them, one south of Tupelo, the other one a bit further south from there, just to the east of I-55. So let's go ahead and zoom in and show you what's happening. This further southernmost system, we've been watching this particular cell now for about an hour. This includes Choctaw, Ackerman, and French Camp are the cities in Choctaw County that is under this until 6 o'clock local time. Let's take a closer look at this, because right here in and around the French Camp area is where we're seeing that notch, that inflow coming into the storm, bit of a hook, if you will. And we've been tracking this with the potential of rotation, looking at it from all different angles. The reflectivity, again, showed us that hook. The velocity will show us where we have that apparent rotation, and it's right here. Now, we know that the radar beam is a bit elevated, right? So we're getting a broader view of what's happening in, at least the middle of the thunderstorm cloud. But that said, there is is indicated by velocity. So the next thing that we'll look at, of course, is there any debris that is apparent based on the radar images. So we bring up the correlation coefficient, and that tells us, is there sort of any dropout? Is there anything different other than rain in this? And it looked, honestly, earlier, it looked a little bit better in terms of showing us where there could have been some debris. This doesn't tell us a whole lot right now, but this is the area to watch. Right in here, just near the French Camp area, you are in that tornado warning. The storm itself is moving very quickly to the east, so we've got to be on guard. If you're under the warning, you need to get to your safe place, your safe shelter, and that would mean an interior room away from walls and windows. A basement shelter would be the best place to be, but if not, interior room away from outside walls and windows. We're tracking it's moving to a little bit north of east, and by 5:30, it's going to be near Chester. By 5:36, it will be near Williams. Again, the storm itself is moving very fast. Here's the apparent rotation within that storm, and we're tracking it, moving it ahead. 5:28 now, actually, as it picks up a little more speed, heading towards the Chester area here in Mississippi. Williams 5 information to put out a warning and to make sure that you are in your safe spot. Again, north of French Camp is an area indicating the greatest threat right there. All right, let's jump up to the other warning. This does include Itawamba, Lee, and Monroe counties. This one also goes till 6 o'clock. Amory, Nettleton, and Okolana are the cities that are within this particular warning. Watching this cell, again, racing off to the north, and he's a fast mover. So if you get a warning that's issued for you, take shelter. Don't wait for the storm to approach, because know that it's moving very fast at anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. Taking a closer view at this one, this has really been showing us quite a hook as well, breaking up a little bit within the last 2 radar scans or so here, but you can see just to the south of Okolana. This is where we do have that inflow coming into the hook. This will be the spot that you would look for that potential rotation, that potential tornado. This is right along Route 245, again, just south of the Okolana area and just to the east of there. This again, maybe just a little bit right in here, a tight little circulation right across that area, tight circulation. So I would be in your safe location, urge your families and friends to get into the location as well. We're tracking that whole system itself, moving off to the east. Again, another fast mover. So Smithville, Armory, you are in the path of this thunderstorm. New Wren, 528.
Coming us tonight at 10, a former Columbus area pastor pleads guilty after being arrested in an online child sex sting in Kentucky. Michael Shane Cruz pleaded guilty to criminal attempt to commit an unlawful transaction with a minor third degree.
Damage in Walnut, I think they're maybe east of there now, Charles. What are you seeing?
Right now, it's a little cleared skies, mostly clear, and we just had a lot of heavy rain push through here in Corinth. But I'm about to drop down south and try to get in front of those storms over in Alabama as they push over in Alabama.
Okay, looking pretty ominous where you are right now. We can see the low clouds in your region. Tell us a little bit about some of the damage that you've seen already today.
Well, in Walnut, when we got there, you had one building that had some major damage to it. Bricks pulled off a whole corner, roof ripped off, awnings ripped off as well, and then just to the south of there, there was some power lines down, and then east of town, power lines down as well. So it's a little town, a little small town, but it got hit pretty hard today.
All right. Thanks so much, Charles Peak, for that report. We'll check in with you as you get a little closer to the next storm. We want to head back with Jen. She's got more on the tornado.
Especially in the north side of town.
View here of these
that
tornado
looks like
warnings.
where
One
this
south
thing
of
is headed.
Tupelo,
That's
the
the
other one
next
just
big
south of that
population area
here in
that this thing's going to head
Mississippi.
toward.
Okay, we got a lot going on here with the audio. What we're doing right now is switching over from the Weather Channel, and we're going to go over to local station now WCBI in Mississippi for more coverage right now on this tornado warning. It's on the ground right now in Mississippi.
Ackerman, the north side of town, looks like it should cross State Highway 9 and State Highway 15 just north of downtown Ackerman. But again, as I said with French Camp, I wouldn't risk it. If you're watching us even in downtown Ackerman, if you've got an Ackerman address, I would go ahead and get in my tornado safe place right now. Again, we don't have radar confirmation anymore that this thing is down. You see the blues there, that's going to be inflow. And in fact, I'll circle that. Again, sometimes you can get these false debris signatures. That's not what that is. Again, you see that's with just really what looks like light rain. So that's probably dust getting ingested up into this storm, not tornado debris here. It's not in the right spot. If we were looking for a debris signature, it would be back somewhere in here. We don't have one there, so we do think the tornado has at least temporarily lifted. It can touch right back down now, though, so that's something that we want you to keep in mind, and we want you to get in that safe place. Keith, you got that northern storm?
Yeah, well, let's go back to this northern storm here, and just real quick, the shear rate is really ramping up on this. So if you were watching in Nettleton and areas right along Highway 45, I want to show you a shear rate. You can see right there, south of Pine Grove, south of Shannon. That's what we're looking at there. I think we got Jacob on the line here. Jacob, chime on in. What do we see right there?
Hey, Steve, we are at the Highway 845 A exit there, south of Oklahoma, looking off to the north. I'm going to turn this camera just a little bit and zoom. You can see behind those trees this area of lowering that is establishing itself right there. And you mentioned it was wrapping up. We're thinking the same thing here. Where that circulation is going to go is it moves to the south side of Oklahoma towards Bigby and Amory. It's going to pass very near the PJ's truck stop on 45 and 278 through west of Amory. That's on the exit there from Aberdeen and Nettleton. As it continues in that direction, but down the line, Smithville, you want to be weather aware and in your safe places at this time. We're watching the storm very closely and seeing a lot of suspicious lowering. Unfortunately, the contrast is rather low here. There's some rain behind it, shielding it, and you're not quite in great position to see it, but definitely seeing something is lower to the ground with the storm. I think we need to consider as if it's a tornado on the ground just to make sure you're going to your safe place. That's the safest assumption here when we're watching this, and especially given that storm that's now moving towards the Ackerman area earlier that had that tornado. This one may very well be wrapping up, so well worth keeping an eye if you're near Amory, Nettleton, or Smithville here in the next 15 minutes. We're going to be heading to the north and then cutting east towards Amory, Keith. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Jacob, for the visuals there and the update. And again, that is because of this storm we've been following. He is positioned south and west of that, watching the southern flank of it right there. So let's bring that up full screen here. So there's the storm. Let's go back to our shear rate. And that best rotation is essentially along and north of, let's just say, Highway 41 here. East of Okolona, right up in here. So it's between 45 and 45, 45 alternate and 45. And this is lifting to the northeast. Maybe these are moving pretty fast too at 55 miles per hour or so. So some of our imagery could actually be delayed a little bit from what's actually happening. So consider that for what it's worth. It's 528. And some of the worst weather can now be approaching the city of Nettleton. It looks like that the worst of it is probably going to stay just north of Amory here. But heads up for you in Smithville and southern parts of Itawamba County right here. This will be approaching the Alabama border by 6 o'clock. So this is the northern storm we're dealing with. Again, Doppler radar indicated rotation with this activity. We showed you that lowering there earlier with that viewer picture. So all of that is showing that we have some spin with this storm. As far as a wind velocity perspective, it's about as clear as mud here. Typically, we would be looking out for, there's a little bit of something showing right up in there on the southwestern side of it. It's not clear green-red together, so we just don't have that really bright, vibrant gate-to-gate shear that would give us a clear indication of an actual confirmed tornado on the ground. That could change though, so just heads up here with the storm, the northern storm, and this tornado warning does continue for parts of northern Monroe and southeastern Lee and southern parts of Itawamba counties. It looks like the worst of the weather now is out of Chickasaw County, Okolona. At this point, you are in the clear with that storm. That's certainly good news. Let's go back to our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Tupelo, and we'll look back to the east-southeast. So if this thing holds together, folks, we'll eventually probably see this thing slip on into view. But at this point, there's a lot of rain on it.
Okay, you're listening to
Ahead of it. So,
station WCBI live in Tupelo, Mississippi. Coverage of tornado warnings there.
And also the thunder and lightning situation. We still have some of these storms. The northern storm, it looks like it's not quite as robust as what it has been. With the southern storm there that Alex, you've been watching, has a little bit more light with that. Let's go back and investigate that.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out here, if you're pulling up your own radar app or something, we're getting some really bright greens here. It's not matching up with rain. Okay, it's matching up in that inflow region. So it's one of the things we've been noticing is at first glance, it looks like we've got really strong circulation, something that you might think, oh, there might be a tornado there. At this point, all this down here is noise. This is not actually the circulation. The circulation's back up in here. It does not look as impressive as it did when it touched down a little bit earlier. Having said that, this can still produce a tornado. It's still got that hook shape here. It's got that sort of kidney bean look. There is strong inflow here. That's why you've got that notch. That's sort of why we're getting some of those squirrely velocity returns at this point. I'll hop on the shear rate. It had been doing a pretty good job, and it is still.